Welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. It's the show that highlights what's happening in Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties through the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of the Lawrence County Advocate, Pulaski Citizen, and Main Street Maury. Those are your local newspapers. As we get going this week, I've got a special announcement for the folks in Lawrence County. The Lawrence County Advocate has moved. That's right, we've moved. I know it's kind of a shock. It was a shock for me as well, and for all of us at the Lawrence County Advocate. It all happened really fast, but thankfully, we've not moved very far. So, the new Lawrence County Advocate location is 214 Buffalo Road. That's 214 Buffalo Road. It's at the intersection of Buffalo Road and Deller Street. It's just about a block off of Gaines if you turn there at the light on Buffalo Road. I said, everyone in Lawrence County, if you don't mind, share with your friends and neighbors about our move. Tell them where we are. We've already got people that know about it, and they're already moving in. We're getting the signage up, all that stuff. So if you'll let folks know, your friends and neighbors know where we are, that we would surely appreciate it. It's the same great paper, same great people. We're just in a different place. So let's keep the show moving today with our weekly wraps, and let's start off with the Pulaski Citizen. In the Pulaski Citizen wrap this week, our Citizen Spotlight is Chris Buchanan, who takes the spot of honor right there at the top and center of the front page this week. Find out more about Chris in the article inside this week's edition. Pulaski and Giles County have received a $1 million site development grant from the state to help further prepare Lot 5 in the Dan Spear Industrial Park South for prospective buyers. Find out more all about that on the top of A1 this week. I know it's a little different this month, but the Giles County Commission's June meeting is scheduled for tomorrow. That's right, Thursday, June the 27th at the courthouse. And it will be on the second floor of the courthouse. And you can blame the changes on budget time. Everything gets crazy during budgets, but they are expected to consider the county's 2024-25 budget, along with several other things. The meeting will be live streamed on Pulaski Citizen Live's YouTube channel and the Pulaski Citizen Facebook page. Next Tuesday, July the 2nd, Pulaski will celebrate Freedom Fest, and that will take place up at the Rec Center, and you can find out all about it right there on page 1. Also on page 1 is the announcement of an active threat drill that will be held at Friday at Southside Elementary School. So tell your friends and family not to worry if they see a lot of emergency responder activity down there around Southside Friday, June the 28th, because they will be practicing. What they do is they run these drills so that they can better serve us when they are called out. So we thank those guys for all of our emergency responders. What a great group of folks, and all that they do for us in our community, and we appreciate them. And just remember that they will be down there Friday, June 28th with an active drill at Southside. On page 2, we've got the ribbon cutting on all the work that's been done down at W.D. Savage Park. You need to get down there and see it if you have not. Also, inside we've got property transfers. We've got obituary notices, backward glances. We got the court docket, community and church briefs. We got the local church directory and local government public notices. Also inside, we've got the latest from the recent Linville Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Johnny Phelps highlights the Glendale community, which I have to admit, I did not know about it either. I told you I didn't know about last week's either. So they're digging off into some of those older communities here in Giles Pass now that I've never heard of. And Margaret Campbell has some tips for food, decorations, and fun for your 4th of July festivities. Cadbury is the Giles County Humane Association Pet Corner Pet this week, and it's Realtors Week. So do not miss our favorite realtors listings and more. All of this in this week's Pulaski Citizen plus sports. Let's go see what Wade's got for us this week.
Hey folks, Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen, giving you guys an update on one of our final editions in the month of June. Crazy to think about, but time has been flying by here in the summer months. So here's what's on tap in the June 26th edition of the Pulaski Citizen sports page. UT Southern is dominating the headlines in our summer months. couple of stories featuring them this week, as not one, not two, but three soccer players for Giles County signed with UT Southern last week, joining their men's program, as Chase Carden, Esteban Rangel, and Patrick Holt all put pen to paper, and they will play for the Firehawks next fall. So we have coverage on kind of how that story came about, because there was an unusual road, especially for one of those young men, but we kind of break that down from Giles County's side, quotes from Matthew Ogeron, the head coach for Giles County, as well as quotes from the coach himself of the Firehawks, Mr. Brett Boland. Speaking of UT Southern and coaching news, they have officially named a new women's basketball coach. Ross James will take over as the head man, replacing Billy Evans, who announced his retirement a couple of months ago at the tail end of the 23-24 season. James comes as a former Division I assistant, also has some head coaching experience, and his addition to campus will certainly be a nice one for a program that is looking to rebound after a couple of down seasons. Other big news in Pulaski this week, we have all kinds of action from the Giles County Little League Softball League and all of their games that have been going on, whether we're talking minor league, prep league, or little league. We've got you covered with recaps from all three divisions, a bunch of teams, whole lot of hits, even some pretty good pitching mixed in. So kind of a hodgepodge from the action over there at Richland Park. And as always, words from our good friend, Mr. Larry Woody. That kind of wraps up this week's sports section. Again, as we close out the month of June, still a lot to get into. Next week, we'll have more recaps and all-star photography from the softball diamond still to come. And as always, we'll rustle up something between now and then as well. So that's a recap for now. Wade Neely saying so long. We'll see you next week, as this has been an update on the Pulaski Citizens sports page.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Having a good, confident smile and being able to portray that positivity to others is really helpful.
A professional family atmosphere is what we get every time we come here.
Our hygienists do a better job at kind of assessing mouths and coming up with plans than most dentists do.
They're very kind and they're very aware of other people.
I think if there's things that I would want you to leave here with, I want you to feel like you were heard, that we listened to you, and I want you to feel like that your concerns were addressed.
Whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, when it comes to your performance, don't settle for anything less than excellence. We're proud to announce that Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic is now Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance of Columbia, where we are redefining sports medicine and orthopedics. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance's team of expert sports medicine physicians understands the unique demands of your body. TOA Columbia specializes in personalized orthopedic care, offering state-of-the-art treatments for everything from sports injuries to joint replacements. Learn more at toacolumbia.com.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
The Lawrence County Advocate wrap this week also includes some great news from the state, just like over in Giles County, as Lawrence County and Lawrenceburg have received $4.5 million from the state for site development at the new industrial park out there on Hagen Road. There's a lot of great information about it right there on the front page of the Lawrence County Advocate. Local officials have announced the arrest of a second person in connection with the murder of Sharon Gillespie back in 2021. Victoria Cash has been indicted by a Lawrence County grand jury. The Maury County woman joins Brandon Ware, also a Maury County resident, as suspects charged in this case. Sandy Mashburn has that story for us on page 1, as well as the story of vandalism at the St. Joseph City Park and the St. Joseph budget. Their city budget was passed for 2024-25. We've got an article and an editorial on the court proceedings and the records leaks related to the Covenant school shooting. That's on A2, as well as a flag, and well, actually A2 and A3. And then there's a Flag Day photo on from Loretto on A2. Also inside, the Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce is hosting a housing survey on its website. It's active right now. You can go to lawcotn.com, and it's going to be active now through July the 12th. Every week, the Lawrence County Advocate has local obituary announcements, local government public notices, very important for you to be able to know what your government's doing. Town crier community events, puzzles, and local church directory. This week, we've got Carol Modlin's monthly column, and our friend Trey Donovan over at LSAP has told us the breakdown now of the best barbecue joints down here in southern Middle Tennessee. And if anybody knows food, it's my friend Trey Donovan. So make sure you don't miss that. Hojo Photos returns this week with a beautiful image the late Howard Johnston captured of a nest full of baby birds. We continue to announce continued academic success, and we finally got in the announcement of the Ingram South School being recognized, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get that in. The Lawrence County Historical Society's April meeting highlighted the old Sanborn insurance maps of Lawrence County from the 19th and 20th centuries, and that's in this week's Advocate. Main Street Preps named its all mid-state teams, and there are some familiar Lawrence County names on that list. Finally, this week, you'll get pictures of the Tennessee-Alabama Bass Club. They had their tournament down at Wilson Lake recently, and we've got the winners. And don't forget, the Lawrence County Advocate, one more time, make sure you get this. Our offices have moved. We are at 214 Buffalo Road now, so please spread the word. We'll be right back after this.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
They have always met wildest expectations as far as taking care of my teeth and my health. You know, teeth health is very important now to your heart. And I told him one day, I said, I'd love to have nice teeth and nice hair. And he said, well, I can take care of the teeth, but I can't take care of the hair. And I said, you can make my teeth? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go for it. And he did. And I have been tremendously pleased. Dr. Hart, if you need him at night, he's here. This staff here will take care of you 24/7. You don't have to worry about, I can't get a hold of my dentist, my tooth's hurting. No, they will be here for you. And if I could get Dr. Hart to take that same artistry that he has and grow hair, then he would be double rich.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Welcome to Nashville Super Speedway.
That's right, guitars and fast cars right here in Music City. This summer, NASCAR is back at the Nashville Super Speedway. Get your tickets now to watch your favorite driver take on the 1.33 miles of concrete chaos. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to lock in your spot June 28th through the 30th for the Ally 400 race weekend.
The Main Street Maury Wrap this week starts with the Maury County Commission rejecting, for the third time, a proposed $46 million North Columbia Elementary School project. Editor Chris Gregory has the details right there at the top of the front page of this week's Main Street Maury, your local newspaper. There's a feature article on the front page this week of one of Columbia's newest restaurants, and that's Gold's Deli. Jonah Story gives us a look at the new Columbia Eatery. In Mount Pleasant, the city's Board of Commissioners are moving forward with an application for a grant to the library, 7 Columbia men have pleaded guilty to federal drug charges. And finally, on the front page, as we told you in the Lawrence County wrap, a Columbia woman has been indicted in connection with the 2021 murder of a Lawrence County woman. Inside, federal assistance is available for tornado victims. The General Federation of Women's Clubs Spring Station Club has a sock hop Funko scheduled for July 9th to raise funds for scholarships, and the Maury County Democrats have a debate planned for July the 8th. After several weeks of celebrating its 50th anniversary, Piggly Wiggly down at Neely's Mill Shopping Center has turned their attention to celebrating America's anniversary with their 4th of July deals. And you can find those and the deals every week from the Pig, one place only. Your local newspaper, Main Street Maury. Make sure you pick up a copy, find out all about the deals at the Pig. Every week, Main Street Maury has local obituaries, notices. We've got comics and puzzles, weather from folks down at Tennessee Valley Weather, the local church directory, and your local public notices from your government. This week, we've got a couple of auction announcements and a lot of community events. There's a lot more to see in this week's Main Street Maury. Make sure you get a copy of yours today at markets all across the county, and you can have it sent to your house every week by getting a subscription to an online edition or to the traditional newspaper edition. And you can do that by visiting mainstreetmaury.com. Now, here's Mo to tell us all about sports.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Maury. In this week's print edition, we have most of the coaching staff at the new Battle Creek High School finalized. Mike Kennard, the new principal up there, or the principal at the new school that opens in about 6 weeks, has hired all of his head coaches except for his softball coach. And we give you a rundown on who those folks are. So be sure and pick up a print edition this week to get introduced to the new Grizzly leaders. Also, Zion Christian's Matthew Terry signed a college basketball scholarship recently. We've got coverage of who it was with. And the 10th annual Wilco Awards took place last week as Williamson County's top student athletes across the board were recognized in an SB-type fashion. You know, suits and ties were actually it was more like tuxes, but yeah, a big time was had at the factory in Franklin, and some Independence and some Summit athletes or former athletes in a few cases were recognized. So we've got coverage of that as well. We continue our series, our summer series on how are you getting better, taking a look at some of our Maury County athletes and what they are doing over the summer to get ready for their upcoming seasons. This week it's Columbia Central's Tiana Davis and Santa Fe's Macon Atkinson. So check that out. Also, Post 19 played their first home game last week against the Impact players, and they dropped that one, but it was the only loss in about 10 games as the seniors went over to MTSU 2 weekends ago, won a tournament, went over to Charleston, Missouri this past weekend, won a tournament. So they are on a roll as long as they're not here, which is unfortunate because they were scheduled to play another home game at Columbia State's Dave Hall Field on Tuesday. We will have some coverage of that and their upcoming Independence Day tournament in next week's print edition of Main Street Sports Today. So I'm sorry, Main Street Maury. Too many hats. Anyway, we will have coverage of Post-19 seniors, and the Post-19 juniors will be in that 8-team tournament as well, which will take place at Columbia State and at Mount Pleasant. So look for the schedule and who's taking place, who's participating in that in next week's Main Street Maury, as well as our continued series on how are you getting better, and looking to recognize a national champion next week. Former Columbia Academy Baseball standout Kavaris Tears, you may be familiar with the name. He played outfield for the University of Tennessee this year, which just brought back its first NCAA Division I baseball national championship. We'll be checking in with some folks on him and perhaps checking in with him. So keep an eye on MainStreetMurray.com and on next week's Main Street Murray print edition for coverage of all of that and more as we continue through the summer, keeping up with local sports.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather today.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Thank you so much for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Luna here in the Weather Center breaking down your forecast for today, how things are going to shape up with a disturbance that's going to be rolling through the area. As we look ahead to the afternoon hours for today and tonight, that means showers and storms. Finally, that's welcome news for many of you, especially farmers across the area. And what's that going to do to our heat? In a way, things are going to be a little bit better, but not too terribly long, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll get to all of that. This Wednesday edition of Your Weather Today is brought to you by our friends on the Lawrenceburg Square at Beasley Wealth Management. Go by and tell Scott we said hello. With that said, let's hop right into it. Satellite and radar over the past 24 showing nothing across our area. Some calm weather, at least in the southeast. Not so much the case in areas just to our north up in the Ohio Valley and points north into Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. A lot of unsettled weather there, and then we've got a cold front back out to the west. Our weather will become active as we head through the portion of today, beginning this afternoon through the evening hours. Here's Futurecast. Break this down for you. Notice clouds in play for the morning, and then by around noon, we'll start to see storms break out west of the Tennessee River. This is going to be with an impulse that's crossing over the area, and that's actually going to be helping us out in a couple different ways. One, it is still going to be ridiculously hot as you head through the course of today, and very humid, muggy feeling outside. But we're going to pick up rain. First good rain chance in several days for our viewing area. And that in turn will make tomorrow feel a whole lot better. Enjoy it though, because by Friday, Mother Nature cranks it right back up, and we're going to be feeling a lot like we have been pretty much every other day this week here by your Friday once again. So as we head through the midday hours, those storms will start to fire off across the area, and then more shower activity will develop as the afternoon progresses. I can't rule out one or two of these storms wanting to be a little bit on the heavier side, producing maybe some localized gusty wind and some heavy rainfall. A lot of stuff these storms have to work with in the atmosphere today, but this is not going to be a severe weather outbreak by any means. But we'll be watching this very carefully, again, as we head through the course of the afternoon and early evening. Left over later tonight, maybe just a few light showers over parts of the area, but that activity will diminish as the evening progresses, and our skies will clear as we roll into Thursday, and that's going to be the day that actually feels better. Now, it's still warm here for tomorrow, highs well in the 90s for you for Thursday afternoon, but it's going to be less humid feeling because the air is going to be a smidge drier as we move through the next 24 hours. Now, it's not going to stay that way. Here's why. We've got another disturbance that's going to be lifting right back north across the area Friday and into Saturday. Here comes another round for scattered showers for the coming weekend. I know a lot of activities planned for Saturday and Sunday with, I think, an early start to the 4th of July holiday period. So you might want to watch the radar in our free Tennessee Valley weather app powered by QuickMart and just see if you're going to be rain-free, because on the 7-day forecast, we do have the potential for seeing a few more pop-up storms Saturday and Sunday. That actually starts on Friday. Well, what about our heat indices for the next few days? Notice your Thursday, tomorrow, a smidge better, just a little bit, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? And then as we head through the weekend, and then the longer range stuff into next week, right back to square one. Here's how things will shape up for you this afternoon, courtesy of the Parks Lumber Day Builder forecast. Temperatures working well into the low to mid 90s. This is actual air temperature. Heat indices, again, likely to be close to 100 before it's all said and done with. Here's a check on the next 7 from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Good chance for rain if we're going to see any in the near future. Definitely going to be this evening. Speaking on widespread, of course, that activity will gradually work its way out of the area later this evening. And then for tomorrow, decent looking weather on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all this is going to be scattered stuff across the area. We'll be, fingers crossed, we see some more rain for you. But again, you do want to watch the weather, especially Saturday into Sunday, if you do have outdoor plans for the 4th of July, because we are getting that time of year and some fireworks shows across the area. Monday, we kind of dry back out just a little bit. Temperatures up and down, but still way too hot to be out and about. Kelly has more on your forecast at noon today, and Fred is here live at 5. Thanks for watching Tennessee Valley Weather.
Well, that's another week in the books for Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Thank you to all our neighbors and friends all across our counties, Maury, Lawrence, and Giles counties, for trusting your local newspaper. And you can rest assured that we do not take that responsibility lightly. If you would like to subscribe to the Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, or Main Street Maury, you can either do that online or traditional newspaper format. Visit one of these websites to do so: PulaskiCitizen.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, MainStreetMaury.com, and MainStreetMediaTN.com. Any one of those, and you can subscribe to your local newspaper. Thanks again, and good Lord willing, we'll be right back here with another episode of Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee next week.